Over the past couple of weeks, I've had a few people asking what microphone I'm using, so here it is, but should you buy one? I'm iCave Dave, and I simplify Apple so that everything just works for you. And if you want the latest Apple news, leaks and rumours every weekday at 12 UTC, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring my notification bell. So this is a different show to normal. This is a inside the cave, let's call it. This is a behind the scenes. This is talking about the kit that I'm using, because we have had a few people interested, and sure, why not? Let's talk about it. So right up front, the team at FiFine reached out to me in April to see if I'd be interested in looking at this, and they got me this unit over super quickly. I didn't pay for the mic, but I am also free to be honest about the product, so let's get right into it. And sorry it took so long to actually get the review out, but I wanted to make sure that I was really familiar with the product, and I wanted to make sure that we'd worked out any kinks. And there were a couple of little issues which we will come to later on in the video, so stay tuned for that. So the mic that I received was the FiFinre K678, and having not heard of the company before, I wasn't sure what to expect. When it arrived, I have to say I was pleasantly surprised. So prior to this mic, I'd used a small Boya Lav mic and the blue snowball for the videos on this channel, but somehow I'd managed to kill a couple of the Lav mics. Plus they're a bit of fuss to take on and off, especially when having a 4 and a 7-year-old, you get interrupted, and that happens quite often when I'm filming. So having something that's set up at the desk is a much nicer situation for me in terms of practicality. So at the point of unboxing, I have to say I was really impressed with all of the packaging. The tolerances on the lid are super nice, so it comes off with that kind of Apple-like slow slide, and this bodes well for me. Opening up the box, you're presented with some nice dense open cell foam with everything laid out on top. First impressions, the mic is very nice and weighty. There's nothing that feels cheap or flimsy here. Even the included desk stand is a really solid chunk of metal, even though I would assume that many will, like me, remove it and use a mic arm. The mic connects via an included USB Mini B to USB A cable, which, for what I think is a fairly new product, kind of surprised me. So I would have expected this to really have USB-C on both ends, but the supplied cable is a really great quality, so less of a complaint and more just of an observation. I just haven't seen mini USB-B on much stuff for quite some time. The mic itself has a photography tripod-sized thread in the base and includes an adapter for more common mic standards, 5/8 and 3/8 of an inch. Damn freedom units, you'll have to convert these yourselves into metric if that's what you use, but let's be honest, most of the audio and video industry doesn't. On the mic itself, we have 3 controls: a mute switch with an LED indicator to avoid those embarrassingly quiet, like really quiet recordings, a microphone gain control, and a headphone monitor volume control, because yes, you can actually plug your headphones directly into this mic and monitor what it's sending to your recorder, which is pretty handy. So onto the sound, and I have to say I'm impressed. My mic prior to this was the blue snowball for this kind of application, and as it has no controls, I often struggle to get enough volume out of it without boosting it quite a bit in post-production. But with this, 25% up on the volume control seems to be perfect for my use case, which gives massive flexibility if you wanted to use the mic to capture music, performance from a little bit more distance, or a conversation between multiple people. I have also used it overhead as a bit of a boom mic, although I've kind of settled on using it in front now with a pop filter. I just feel like it works the best way this way for me. Now it seems that the audio quality from what I've seen online is kind of in line with the Blue Yeti mic, which is a decent chunk more expensive, though it does feature more options in terms of polar patterns, which will mean a lot more to you if you're more into audio recording than it does to me. I did have a couple of challenges with this which are worth bearing in mind. For a few days I couldn't work out why I had this kind of strange hum whine in the background of some of the recordings, and it was very, very frustrating. I was absolutely tearing my hair out. Then I realised I'd just added an external hard drive to my desk, and it was right under where the mic mounted to my desk, and it was the sound of said drive spinning up coming through the desk itself. So a little foam fixed that, no problems, but I would also assume if you used anything but the cheapest of mic stands in the world, you probably wouldn't have had this problem. The other slight issue I had was actually having children. They're quite inquisitive and fiddle around with things, and I had a video which I recorded assuming everything was still set up as I'd left it, but it was not. And they turned the gain all the way up, so the whole thing was like this clippy mess, as the microphone was expecting far quieter sounds. So, not down to the microphone at all, but just more of a PSA. If other people have access to where you record, just make sure you have a quick glance over your settings when you sit down to use this mic before you hit go. So I'd kind of compare this to a mid-range camera. While there are more expensive and complicated options out there that will definitely give you more granular control, especially in the SLR connected space, many of them will also need more expertise and additional equipment like audio interfaces to get the best out of them. At the other end of the scale, the basic point and shoot cameras are closer to where the Boya Snowball is, where it does the best it can with a static simple mic, but you get what you get. And for many people, taking the decisions out of their hands might be the ideal situation. But for me, I really like how this mic sits right there in the middle. It gives me some control over the gain, but I can just plug it into my Mac, it's automatically recognised by the system, it appears in all the audio inputs everywhere. It's so simple to use. USB mics are in such a sweet spot for me that this FiFine mic just makes sense. The audio out has been really good. So overall, I'm really happy with this thing. As I said, when FiFine reached out to me, I had no idea what to expect, but this thing is solid, it sounds great, and has far more flexibility than I personally need right now, without being overcomplicated. And if you want one, I've included an affiliate link to Amazon down in the description, which helps to support the channel if you're so inclined. But this is not a sponsored video. They have sent me the microphone. I do apparently get to keep the microphone. I hope, because I think I've lost some of the bits that stick the desk stand onto it, because it's been on here for like 3 months when I've been testing it. And to be honest, this does exactly what I need it to, so let me know how you think it sounds down in the comments. And if you want the latest Apple news, leaks and rumours every weekday at 12 UTC, smash that subscribe button so that you don't miss our videos. See you in the next one.